My name is Jeff Jensen with Entertainment Weekly. Thanks for coming to Ballroom 20. Twisty murder mysteries, evil energy drink companies, suspense, subtext, a great cast, all this in a bag of Hellfire cheesy puffs. iZombie pretty much had it all, and it was one of my favorite TV shows of the past year. And it's a super big pleasure to be introducing this cast and moderating this panel. So let's get started. Rob and Diane, I'd love to start with you guys. What attracted you guys to iZombie, the comic, and wanting to adapt it to a series? Like, why did you guys like this?
When it originally came to me, the head of Warner Brothers Development came and she said the CW needs another great female hero. They need the next Buffy, the next Veronica Mars, and this is it. We need you to write it. And so that's, it was really, the cover sold us right away. Mm-hmm. And the head of Warner Brothers Development said I had to. I do anything she says.
And then Rob told me I had to, and I do everything he says.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
Well, what's been gratifying and enjoyable about working in this genre, the supernatural kind of laced mystery story?
You know, before doing this show, I never got to have much blood or stunts or fight scenes or special effects, and so it's fun now to do a genre piece. Like I was very used to doing two people in a room talking, lots of, you know, where Diane and I are relying on being witty, and this time we get action. You know, we get to have Liv riding around on the top of the car and throwing the windshield off and stuff that we had really never done before.
Usually they just verbally kick ass, and now she gets to verbally kick ass and literally kick ass. So,
when you get into full-on zombie mode or rage mode, like where do you go in your head?
You don't want to know. No, weirdly that comes too naturally. I don't know. I don't want to look too deep into that part of myself.
She is very, very method, and people might not realize this. We do not even have to visual effects her eyes. They actually go red. It's a thing.
And everybody always says, what are those brains that you're eating? You know, and I say gelatin. But yeah, there's different techniques that help.
We just have one of the PAs sneak up and whisper in her ear, Rose, we're out of Diet Coke.
And I am done.
Full-blown zombie mode.
Rob and Diane, when we last left Liv, she was being rather stingy with her zombiness and denying it from her brother. And in general, it seems like everybody hates Liv right now. What can you say and tease about the beginning of season 2 as we find her?
Well, everyone does hate Liv right now.
It's like everyone loves Raymond and everyone hates Liv.
I mean, she, as we start season 2, Major is still not quite over the fact that Liv did not let him in on her zombie secret. Of course, Peyton is still on her walkabout around Europe as we start season 2. And for reasons that you all probably have seen, she's a bit on the outs with any surviving family members that she has.
I just feel bad for her.
I know.
Like when you say it, I'm just like, how are they not understanding?
It's going to be a depressing art film next year. It's really
Ready for a real tone shift.
David, you played a lot of great bad guys over the years. Where does Blaine kind of rank in your own kind of rogues gallery, and what have you enjoyed playing about him the most?
I thank you for saying that. That's very sweet. Blaine is, I've said this before, Blaine is as close to me as any of these bad guys I've ever been, weirdly. I don't know, the way he walks, he's unnecessarily cocky. I really, it's up there, I'll tell you, it's up there, and he's new yet, and I hope I continue to be allowed to be him, guys. Don't kill me.
Play your cards right.
He's been kind of de-zombified last time we saw him. Does that interest you to play him now, or does it kind of bum you out a little bit?
As an actor, your dream is to diversify your portfolio, if you will, and so when you can diversify within the same series, let alone within 14 episodes. That's kind of a dream. That's a victory. So I'm looking forward to starting season 2 and showing you some different hues of Blaine de Beers.
I'm looking forward to you being mortal.
Yeah.
Rob and Diane, can you say anything about Blaine season 2? Can you tease him a little bit?
Sure. I mean, it's no surprise. Like, this is not a spoiler. I mean, we say it in the season 1 finale. Von Duclark, the head of Max Rager, says to his right-hand scientist, "You go work on Supermax. I am going to rid Seattle of its zombie problem." So that's going to be a big storyline in season 2. Suddenly, the zombies who've been on the offensive in season 1 are going to be a bit on the defensive, and it will make strange bedfellows out of Blaine and Liv, who are both concerned about the dwindling zombies in Seattle.
And also because we just loved seeing them in scenes together.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
awesome
that was the problem in season 1. We loved them playing in scenes together, but Liv was in search of Blaine. It was tough to put them in scenes together.
Robert, it seemed like every time Major played the hero, he just basically got the crap beat out of him in all sorts of ways.
Yeah, which I kind of identified with greatly, because I sort of feel like I have these daily dreams of doing heroic acts. But then when reality steps in, I'm like, yeah, that would fail miserably. So I actually see a great bit of myself, in Major, in that it's like A for effort, but D for execution and results.
Was that gratifying to be able to, basically go ballistic there at the end?
Oh my God, yeah, and especially considering the fact that it was virtually, a year ago this week that Rob and I were walking back from this panel, and he said, "Hey, I've got an idea of what we want to do with Major for a season." And as soon as he kind of pitched me this, the Travis Bickle arc and sort of losing it and having the crap kicked out of him and then getting some comeuppance, I was sold. Unfortunately, it was about 6 months of having the absolute crap kicked out of me before. But good things come to those who wait. And in this case, good things are several zombie massacres.
Malcolm, we learned a little bit about Clive's backstory this year. We learned that he had the Vice background, went undercover. What more would you love to learn about Clive in the upcoming season?
Well, I would love to see who Clive is dating, if there's a love
So would
life.
Then you're in luck.
What'd you say?
I said, then you're in luck.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
got a spoiler. I didn't even know that. Just what his life is like, when he's not at the precinct, his home life is like, music he listens to, what kind of cereal he likes. I think that'd be cool.
Would you like to see Clive get more involved in the zombie killing action?
Yeah, well, I think, he's equivalent to Lois Lane, not knowing that Clark Kent is Superman, So I think I like playing that. I like him not knowing what's going on. So we'll see how long that lasts.
Raul, there was a popular fan theory for the first part of the season, at least, that perhaps Ravi had a monstrous side to himself, maybe a zombie, maybe a little werewolf. Did you ever have a theory ever wonder if maybe he had something like that, a secret?
I guess that the kind of the cynic in me, he's such a lovely ball of sunshine, and I treat that with the utmost suspicion. Like, if anyone's that sweet, I'm like, they've got some stuff, they got some demons. I don't think he does. He might just be, there was the Weird Terrier thing for a while. I saw a lot of people. I think it's because I'm nearly there. I'm just, all I need is hair here, and I think I've done it. But I did think the Weird Terrier might happen. But we'll see.
Rob and Diane, is there any chance that we might see the show kind of move into other sort of monster genres beyond zombies, or do you want to just stick in the zombie genre?
You want to take that?
I think that we were planning on sticking to zombies, just because. I mean, we both loved the comic, and I think the comic was great as the comic. I don't think we could translate it into TV and do it justice.
Allie, so you're back.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't just leave Peyton hanging and like never know what happens to her. That would be weird. You know?
What have you enjoyed most about Peyton, and what would you like to learn more about Peyton in season 2?
I think my favorite part about Peyton is that she's super loyal. It's not hard to play really loyal to Rose because we've known each other and we're actually friends in real life, which is really nice. But I think that there's something really admirable about the fact that she sticks by her friend and she wants the best for her, truly. And even though they have their differences, and even though Liv has kind of shifted in her style and in her taste in men and everything, she still knows her as the Liv that she has been friends with ever since she was young. I think I would like to learn more about just Peyton as a person in her personal life outside of, being a roommate of Liv's, and kind of seeing where the relationship with Ravi goes, Because I know some fans really liked it, so.
Are we ever going to see Ravi and Peyton take that Vertigo date to San Francisco?
Oh,
Whoa.
That's up to the boss.
I want to wear a suit again. I really like that suit.
The suit we need to see.
The suit, how good was the suit? That made me so delighted to see you in that suit. Sorry, am I like perving at Comic-Con over a cast member? But it was so just vintage and awesome and delightful.
I'd love to get to the fan questions if we can do that.
I want to eat Adnan's brain from cereal and know the truth.
Oh, wow.
Good.
That's what I want.
That's good.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd eat the brain of
Thank you.
Bieber. And my stock answer is because I'd like to see what that's about, and he'd be dead. But I don't wish Justin Bieber ill.
Oh, my God.
I think his songs are toe tapping. Roll?
see, mine's going to be boring. So I'm going to be studious and say I would eat Daniel Day-Lewis's brain because I really want to know what his method is. There's so much conjecture about he ran into a forest for 6 days just for Last Mohican. So and I want to be better at my job. So I'm going to murder Daniel Day-Lewis, eat his brain, and then come back for season 2.
I do Rose back to Rose all the time, and she says I'm rubbish. So, and I've most of my career I've played English people, so I'm so rooted in the English speak, and I can't wrap my mind, my mouth around the diphthongs of the Kiwi brogue. Very rock and roll.
Oh, Rose, I am about
That's Flight of the Conchords. That's all I got.
I am about to butcher your accent right now. Rose calls me Mackie G, and that's her nickname for me. So
I thought your mum called you that. Turns out I made it up.
You're the only person. The only person on the planet who calls me Mackie G, and I love it. So this is Rose. We drink a lot of coffee, and this is her inviting me to have a cup of coffee. Hey, Mackie G, let's have some coffee. There we go. Hey.
Yeah. Nice.
Felt good about that. Boom.
He even made it rhyme.
That's a tough act to follow. I'm gonna go with Reese Darby stepping and dog poop. So it would go something like. Wait for. Ow, bugger. Thank you.
This might be a good time to ask this question from Twitter, Rose. Would you like to see Liv eat a kiwi in the coming season so you can use your accent?
Funnily enough, that was a conversation I've been having with these two in the last day. And we have a few big ideas about how that could happen, and I'm going to be sending a few emails around to some friends of mine back home. I would love to do that. I think we could have a lot of fun. I think I've told this story to a couple of people, but you guys should know. Raul takes his job very seriously. And he is very good at incorporating his environment into his performance, and he walks around and he made the morgue really his home away from home. And one day we have this fantastic consultant who comes and works with us. She's a medical examiner, and
I just realised what story you're telling.
and he was doing this big spiel, and he was keeping it interesting and being incredibly professional and wonderful. And we started rolling. He kind of mapped out a few ideas, and they start rolling. And he does this whole amazing monologue, and he gets a ruler that he's been walking around with, and he puts it in his mouth, and he does like the second bit with this ruler hanging out of his mouth. This whole thing finishes. It's great. Full cut, and the morgue consultant comes running over, and she's like, just so you know, that's not a prop that was purchased. That was brought from my morgue to this show. And we were first all like horrified, and then just absolutely lost it with laughter and called him Death Breath for the rest.
Yeah.
She said, you don't want to know what it's measured, so I hope that will tantalize your imaginations.
I'll be doing a kissing booth afterwards,
All
by the
those
way.
girls that want to make out with you are now.
I think I just lost his entire female fan base.
I fell in love with that song long before we were doing the show. During the pilot, I already had that in mind for a main title sequence. So it sort of hit all the main points very quickly and efficiently. But it was great. When I played it to the cast, everyone was very psyched. People went around humming it for...
Well, during the filming of the pilot, when Ravi performed surgery on Liv, and then he plays music,
Yeah.
you it played live. That
right.
that was the song we were listening to. That's the first time we heard it.
I live as a zombie. I live as a zombie.
I mean,
Especially if I can eat brains and inherit traits like Liv does. Why not?
Yeah.
I also think more and more, I felt so sorry for her, and it is something I don't wish upon anybody, granted, but when I look back at the flashbacks, I think she was too chill. Like, she had it too easy, and stuff was all too smooth. I think she was probably really boring. And now she's got, like, a lot more tenacity and courage, and she's overcome a lot. She's edgier. So I think, I'm fine being a zombie now.
I think the visions is the most attractive thing about being a zombie. Like the whole astronaut idea that was brought in, the guy wanting astronaut brains, was a great idea to experience things you never did while you were alive.
So you think that you're one of those upscale zombies who gets the astronaut and rock star brains, not the murdered homeless teenager brains?
TV money.
Oh yeah, you're TV. Oh yeah. Then you can afford the good stuff then.
Yeah. I think I would go zombie just because every night when my mom tucks me in, she whispers in my ear, "You're my favorite," and I just want to know if that baloney is the truth.
Allie?
I mean, zombie. Then you can live forever. It's I think it's a pretty no-brainer answer. Pun intended. Guys, come on, right? What about you?
I'd choose death. I'm just so tired.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I choose death because I don't want to live in a world without David Anders.
Get a room.
A reminder to everyone up here, you do remember that once you are a zombie, you transmit that sexually, so you got some dire...
Thanks for the
You
PSA.
guys all have to sleep together if you guys are going down this route.
Oh, if that's the case, then we are all full-blown zombies. We can at least speak for this bunch, big time.
When we've talked about it in the writer's room, we felt like Ravi's the doctor who knows that Liv has HIV and he should be bound as her zombie doctor of sorts.
I think if anything, we would be more upset with Liv not telling us, trusting us that we would be safe with that information. Not necessarily, don't you kind of think?
Definitely, yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I'm more mad at her. Because you can't get mad at
But then
Robbie.
also understanding why she didn't want to tell us for our own safety and to not involve us in that whole mess. And then we do
Between
become
those three characters, with Peyton, Ravi, and Major, all their loyalties are the strongest with Liv.
Yeah.
They all share that in common. Like, Liv is their strongest link.
Yeah.
It's not Ravi and Major. It's not Peyton and Major. Like, I think there's no issue between that kind of dynamic. It's all to do with her and protecting her.
Drop the ball. I get it.
Then again, after the fight in the kitchen that Peyton witnesses, I don't think, the cat's pretty far out of the bag by that point. Am I?
No, even
Am I
further
right?
out of the bag when Liv says it expressly to her.
Oh, okay, yes. Right. Sometimes.
Buckley actually just fast forwards to his scenes when he watches the show. It's weird.
Yes.
But
By the way, in fast forward, your guys' work looks wonderful.
Bucks, you got me a couple of times. We had this walk and talk one day. It's a steady cam shot, and so we have to rattle off this dialogue pretty fast. And Rob kept holding on my hand for dear life, right before we have to walk in, and I have to physically snatch it away, in order to start the scene. And I mean, it took everything for us not to crack up during that scene and make it through, and obviously not ruin the shot.
I think the work turned out all right.
It worked out. Yeah, it worked out. Thanks for the motivation.
When we're filming, I've got a nasty illness. I draw naughty pictures all the time. Like, if you give me a pen and paper, I'm going to draw something immature on it. And so you'll see Rose, and she'll have to have to play two characters. I'm a cheerleader and I'm a stoner, and she's focused and she's doing that, and I'll sit there with a clipboard and be like, Rose, Rose, Rose. And it's just a man's thing. That's his. And we've been doing that. That's 13 episodes. It's still going strong.
Yeah. So look out, Downtown Abbey. We're coming for you.
On April Fool's Day, I emailed the other executive producers of the show and told them that I had gotten a call from the network and they were horribly disappointed in our numbers and that we should be expecting calls later in the day from them. And to be fair, Danielle Stockdyke and Dan Etheridge fell for it completely. They called me in a panic and a tizzy, fretting about it, and I let them stew in that for a while. But Diane Ruggiero was the keen one of them, and said, "That's got to be an April Fool's joke, right?" As it was. So
Is that an expletive April Fool's joke, Rob? Expletive?
Yes, I believe that was.
Are you expletiving, kidding me?
But it worked. It played with.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
we're all still recovering.
Last but not least, in the finale episode, when Major finally, breaks free of his captivity and is able to sort of do his thing, they had originally drafted that was all going to be done entirely shirtless.
Oh my God.
So, and that lasted for about 5 days. So, as you can imagine, I was eating like half an almond a day, and for my cardio, I was just crying profusely into my pillow. Until we got to the TCAs, and they were like, oh, we were just messing with ya. And I was like, yeah, I was just fainting earlier, because I haven't eaten an almond and a half in the past 2 days. So we keep it light on set. We keep it light.
We have a lot of fun.
I'm just remembering your argument about why it didn't make sense that you would have your shirt off, and I'm like, it makes sense because that's what you have to do, Buckley. It's in the script.
Yeah.
It makes sense because that's why we pay you. Take off your damn shirt.
In fact, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we see it right now?
Season two.
Keep them wanting more.
It is true. When each year before the season starts, the actors come in and eat lunch with the writing staff while they're still down in LA, and we have all
While
of
we
our,
still eat lunch.
We have on whiteboards around the room. We have all the beats of different episodes, like the first 6. And last year when he came in, we had hidden in each one of them we had in red dry erase marker, some reason that Major would take off his shirt.
Yeah.
It existed.
It was
and we
like
just
Major
wanted-
puts on sunscreen slowly. Major, dries his body with itchy shower towel.
Major does push-ups in writer's room without shirt.
Yeah.
Why is that necessary? Stop reading my diary.
I keep getting stuck on this idea that Blaine has murdered dozens of teenage runaways.
And I keep telling him no one cares. It's David Anders.
I'm stuck on it. I think about that.
If anyone could get away with killing homeless children, it's David Anders.
I know, and it's true. Like, I watch Game of Thrones, and like, wait a minute, the guy who pushes the child out the window in season 1, we all like now. We're all
Yeah,
okay
he loses-
with that guy.
Yeah, he loses his hand, and you're like, oh.
Oh.
He's having a bad day.
And he killed Lowell.
And he killed. You all love Lowell so much.
all
right
love the
now,
cheekbones.
hate.
David
Johnny
Anders.
Cheekbones. Oh, Bradley James, sweet Bradley James. Sorry, what were they gonna do? Kill me? No. Maybe.
Hey. You know who didn't kill Cheekbones or any kids? Major. I'm just saying. Food for thought.
Because I can make this decision right now, I'm going to tell you episode 1, grumpy old man brain. Get off my lawn, brain.
The part I was born to play.
Yes. Episode 2, frat boy brain. Brolicious brain. Yes.
Beer pong and boobs.
Episode 3, Real Housewife of Seattle brain.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we've got some good ones right out of the gate.
So he believes in psychics because his great aunt Debbie was a psychic, and maybe that'll be on the deleted scenes on the DVD that comes out in September.
Yeah, that might be on
That might be up there. So that's why he believes in it, because he has a family member who believes in it, who's a psychic, and I think that if he ever find out that Liv is a zombie, I always see Clive, he watches Night of the Living Dead, he probably watches Walking Dead, and he'll go, what? A zombie who can talk and think and what? I think he'll trip. I think he will bug out.
I want that to be the whole episode, you just saying, what?
Yeah. I think he will give it a Clive face for like a good 2 minutes.
I do have to just add as well that last Comic-Con, we talked about the fact that his great aunt was a psychic in the show and had predicted the sex, and somehow when an article was released, it went out saying that Malcolm's personal great aunt was a psychic who had predicted the sex of
I
9
have
of
family
10.
members calling me saying, why are you up there lying, saying saying your aunt is, I'm like, no. I said Clive great. They took it as, like I said, I got a great Aunt Debbie. People hit me on Facebook like, you don't have no great Aunt Debbie. Like, I know, it's Clive. It was a misprint.
To tell you a little bit about the evolution of a pilot script, like when Diane and I wrote this, in the original 80-page draft of the script, Clive didn't believe in psychics, and we had to spend all these pages and scenes making him believe that she could possibly be psychic. And then we had to shrink the script and then at that point there was the scene in which he says, oh, well, my great aunt is a psychic, and so I kind of get it. And then, of course, by the time we get it down to 41 minutes, there's no reference.
No, then it's like, I'm a psychic. Cool.
Okay.
Cool, yeah. We'll roll with it.
Yeah.
So that scene, the scene about his great aunt, we did shoot for the pilot, and it did not fit into the show. Maybe you will see it on the DVD extras. Yes.
Guys, great questions. We are out of time. Thank you so much for coming. Cast, creators of iZombie, big round of applause for them.